Fallout New Vegas has a number of Easter eggs referencing movies, TV shows, music, and more. In this video, I will go through a number of Easter eggs in Fallout New Vegas as submitted by you. Hi, I'm Mo and I'm trapped in Fallout. When walking down the road that comes out of Good Springs, you will eventually encounter an open fridge. When looking inside it, you will find a skeleton with a fedora. This is actually a reference to Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. This references a scene where Indiana Jones survives a nuclear blast by hiding inside a fridge. To actually see the fridge appear in your game, you will need to have the Wild Wasteland perk. This Easter egg was submitted by John Franklin. Thanks John for submitting this one. In the Lonesome Road DLC, when inside the Cave of the Abandoned, you will see a fossilized dog named Seymour. This is a reference to an episode of Futurama called Jurassic Park. In the episode, Fry finds his dog Seymour, who he finds fossilized. This said, Seymour only appears if you have the Wild Wasteland perk. This Easter egg was submitted by Elian Rodriguez. Thanks Elian for this great Easter egg. In the Old World Blues DLC, you will find a miniature Deathclaw called Stripe. You will find this tiny Deathclaw in Higgs Village inside of Gabe's doghouse. The doghouse itself is just behind house numbered 103. Stripe is actually a reference to the main antagonist in the movie Gremlins. When looking around, you will see a further reference to some other things, such as the chicken that is in front of Stripe. This is a reference to Stripe from the movie, who actually loves to eat chicken. You will also notice a fountain that this mini Deathclaw refuses to go near, as this is also a reference to the death scene of the gremlin in the movie. Thank you to both Neok and Excite Warden for this Easter egg. When you have the Wild Wasteland perk, when traveling just outside of Cerulean Robotics, you will come across a gang of elderly people. This is a reference to a skit from Monty Python's Flying Circus called Hell's Grannies. Thanks to Grognak for submitting this Easter egg. We also have another Monty Python reference. This time, when you travel to Cottonwood Cove, you will find spray painted on one of the building walls the phrase Romanius ununt domos, which means Romans go home. This spray painting art only appears in the game if you have the Wild Wasteland perk. Thanks to Steve Bird for submitting this one. It seems there are a number of Monty Python references and we have yet another one. This time, if you make your way into the basement of one of the churches in Camp Searchlight, you will find 3 holy grenades. These grenades are yet another Monty Python reference, specifically to Monty Python and the Holy Grail, which only appears if you have the Wild Wasteland perk. This Easter egg was submitted by Excite Warden and Steve Bird. Thank you to you both. When traveling north of the Horowitz farmstead, you will come across an alien ship, and in front of the alien ship will be a number of aliens. Although this is strictly not an Easter egg as such, the aliens are directly taken from the Mothership Zeta DLC from Fallout 3. You will only ever see the aliens if you have the Wild Wasteland perk. Thanks to Dr. Carmine for submitting this Easter egg. Our next reference is found in Nipton. When you make your way to the burned building and go inside, you will find the body of 2 NPCs. Their names are Owen and Biru. This is a direct reference to the aunt and uncle of Luke Skywalker from the Star Wars A New Hope movie, in which Luke's aunt and uncle were burnt by stormtroopers. Just like others on this list, you will need the Wild Wasteland perk to see this. This Easter egg was submitted by Christian Ship. Thanks Christian. In the Old World Blues DLC, when you enter the X8 building, you will see some cyber dogs playing a game of poker. This is a reference to a famous painting called Dogs Playing Poker by Cassius Marcellus Coolidge. You will need to have the Wild Wasteland perk to see this. Thanks to Exiled Warden for submitting this Easter egg. In the Old World Blues DLC, you will come across a robot called the Walking Eye. These robots are actually used to spy on the enemy. They are found in the Magneton Hydraulics Complex. The Walking Eyes are actually a direct reference to an episode from the Venture Bros. In a particular episode, a Dr. Venture uses his prototype walking eye robots to actually grab the attention of supervillains. Thanks to Exiled Warden again for submitting this Easter egg. Jimmy's well is found in the Mojave Desert. It is south of Phil's shack and to the west of the Nellis Air Force Base, just under a large underpass. When traveling to this well, if you have Rex with you, Rex will start to bark. When you then talk to Rex, you will have a unique dialogue option where you can ask him about a boy that fell down the well. This is a reference to a well-known television show called Lassie, where a dog is constantly in aid of helping a boy. This is another Easter egg that was submitted by Exiled Warden. When traveling to Vault 21, if you make your way to Sarah's room, you will see a photo of both James and Catherine. These are the confirmed parents of the Lone Wanderer from Fallout 3. This is a direct reference to Fallout 3 and makes you think why Sarah has a picture of the Lone Wanderer's parents in her room. Again, thank you to Exiled Warden for submitting this Easter egg. That gun is a unique weapon in Fallout New Vegas that you can find inside the Dino store in Novak. But did you know that it was modeled after the pistol that is used by Rick Deckard in the movie Blade Runner? Thank you to Exiled Warden for this Easter egg. There are a number of references to Elvis Presley, and one such reference are the Freeside Gang, the Kings. The Kings very often use dialogues that resemble the great Elvis Presley. For instance, if you have a look at the way they dress, their resemblance to the great Elvis Presley, it is all very similar. Again, thank you to Exiled Warden for submitting this one too. When entering Freeside's Cerulean's Robotics, you will come across a Protectron called the Fully Integrated Security Technology Officer, or rather Fisto for short. Now, Fisto is a sort of reference to a unique Power Fist weapon from Fallout 3, also called Fisto. The Power Fist weapon in Fallout 3, Fisto, and this Protectron both share the same name. Now, similar to the alien reference in this list, this is another Fallout 3 reference in Fallout New Vegas. Another interesting correlation between the Power Fist Fisto in Fallout 3 and Fisto is their occupation. Let's just say that Fisto in Fallout New Vegas asks you to assume the position, somewhat suggesting a very naughty reference. Thank you to Spontaneous Disintegration for submitting this one. When traveling to Gibson's scrapyard, you will be able to obtain a unique weapon called the Big Boomer from Old Lady Gibson. This weapon is a reference to Mad Max, who is played by Mel Gibson. The shotgun that Mel Gibson carries looks very similar to the Big Boomer. It looks like a sort of shotgun. Also, the scrapyard itself and the old lady have the name Gibson in their names. Thank you to Sarad Carriers for submitting this Easter egg. Diane and Jack are NPCs that you will find at the Red Rock Drug Lab. They are part of the Great Khans and are direct advisors to Papa Khan. According to Regis, who is another Great Khan, both of these NPCs as children grew up together and pretty much did everything together. These two NPC names are actually a reference to a song written by John Cougar. The song itself is about two American kids doing the best that they can. This Easter egg was submitted by R.J. Lehman. Thank you for submitting this Easter egg. There are a number of Easter eggs in Fallout New Vegas, and in this video I covered a fair few of them. Thank you to everyone that submitted an Easter egg. Click on the playlist video you see on the screen now to check out some of the best glitches that you can perform in Fallout New Vegas.